What it is. Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Tyrus, and this is a special edition of Gutfeld. Daniel Penny was found not guilty of criminal negligent homicide today in the chokehold death of a man on a New York subway. Nonetheless, Penny did not take the subway home. Once bitten, twice shy, right? Donald Trump and Jill Biden shared a photo op at Notre Dame's cathedral over the weekend. Good to see there's no hard feelings between the incoming president and the current president. South Korea's leader has been barred from leaving the country and briefly declaring a martial law last week. Fortunately, he has plenty of local places to get his nails done. Earlier today, the 2025 Golden Globes nominations were announced. And for the third year in a row, our own Joe DeVito was nominated for Best Awkward Silences in a Television Series. A team of English scientists claim lizards are 35 million years older than originally thought. Here's one of their findings. Don't go away mad, just go away. The FDA is moving to ban controversial all food additives like the red dye number 3 that's found in our junk food like Peeps. When asked for comment, the candy maker said, well, we still have fat kids. Well, they'll eat anything. In Philadelphia, a 100-year-old man and a 102-year-old woman broke the record for oldest couple to marry. The groom said he had to after he knocked her up. I hope that's not true. And over the weekend, the ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz were sold at an auction for $28 million. And according to the buyer, they're just a little tight. Now to the monologue. Now, for almost a decade, the legacy media loved to report about a divided country, and anyone who supported Trump was stupid, flawed, or better yet, racist. We all know the nicknames: deplorables, garbage, doozy. It got to the point that he was going to be the end of democracy, but November 5th, democracy survived in spite of them. The Democrats then warned there'd never be another election already, and already they're talking about 2028. And now Trump is being embraced as the president before it's even official. Joe Biden still has a couple of months left to stink up the joint, but it's Trump who's getting the presidential praise. Over the weekend, he traveled to France for the grand reopening of Notre Dame's cathedral. World leaders welcomed him with open arms, treating him like the president, while doctors are treating Joe Biden for rigor mortis. President Trump almost crushed the French president's hand during a handshake. It's now the handshake seen around the world. Here's Trump crushing an apple. He also met Ukraine's President Zelensky. Trump better make sure he still has his wallet. So the big bad orange meanie even rubbed elbows with Dr. Jill, sitting in the spot where her husband's supposed to be. Jill Biden stared lovingly at Trump like she had been voting for him all along. And did you see this? Trump's doing what he does best, marketing himself and using the photo op with Dr. Jill to sell Trump cologne. I guess Hitler smells pretty good. Trump is acting like he's already president, and no one seems to mind except progressive Democrats. As the Wall Street Journal points out, some of the left are furious that Trump's already negotiating with world leaders and creating his policy agenda here at home. One spokesman for progressive Dems saying, quote, "This is one of the lamest of lame ducks we've seen with a Democratic administration." And where's old Biden? He's getting his hair blown out. So despite all the lies and fake news and weaponizing of the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ, and legacy media, are we still divided? Maybe not, because the left is also losing its grip on how we communicate. Okay, so social media was the big weapon for the left, but is it anymore? Elon Musk saved X, and President Biden has had his own hand in pulling social media out of the cold, small, creepy hands of the woke. No longer will a pro-Trump post have more censorship than when we tried to show off Greg's movie from his college days in Fox Nation. According to Trump's team, the garbage truck was anything but trash on social media, getting, get this, 148 million views on TikTok. It had more thumbs up than I did when I lifted that tractor off that poor family. It is clear Trump has destroyed grouping. It wasn't rich or poor, smart, dumb, male or female. It wasn't black, white, red, yellow, green, Greg. It was everyone, and we all wanted the same thing, orange.
Hell yeah. You did.
The American people gave him one of the most resounding mandates in generations. He won the popular vote by 3 million more than his record-breaking tally in 2020. And he got more electoral votes than any Republican president since George H.W. Bush. It was a blowout. If this election was a football game, Kamala would have left for the third quarter for a wine bar. And who was it? It was Americans. We came together. Now it's time to stop burying the other side. There's no reason to sit on TV and trash the left anymore. It's over. It was a knockout. So let's get back to the real issues, the real stuff that everybody wants to fight about. Whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It's a debate that has divided people for decades. Look, my buddy Glenn Jacobs from Two Wrestlers in a Truck, Glenn retweeted some biased fake news poll that says it's not a Christmas movie. But Glenn, you're out of your mind. It's the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Thank you. So I put my own poll up, and it clearly shows I'm right and Glenn's wrong. So can't we all just get along and have a very merry yippee-ki-yay Christmas?
Hashtag enough said.
Let's welcome tonight's guest. Her record is so spotless, we can call her Stainless Steel. Host of the Sage Steel Stove, Sage Steel. Her last name sounds like exotic pasta, Republican strategist Aaron Pernini. And this is one Charlie who won't make you feel gnarly, host of Outkick in the Morning, Charlie Arnold. He's hoping Santa will bring him a new act, writer and comedian Joe DeVito. Okay, I'm still fogging up here. I'm very emotional about my Die Hard. Okay, before we get into the political stuff, are you in a small poll around is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes. I know you guys. And I love you for it, but I sense some hesitation over here, so get ready to boo the hell out of her. Okay, so we'll ask you again.
Why are you picking on me at the beginning of the show?
You're first!
Because I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
Well, good news, judging. I
Well,
feel like
I
it's
have
the one
nothing to
time
talk
I've
about.
actually
So
seen
we're
a
all going to
movie.
sit here for the next 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie, you and I. What does that have to the sports people? I don't know what that says
We
about
had
us.
other things to do. We had football to watch, right?
Yeah,
You've
there you
literally
go.
had your entire child and adult life to watch this movie, Charlie. Okay, so
Sorry.
do you think we're seeing the real signs of the country coming together?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Or was it never really that far apart?
Oh no. Sorry. Are you done? No, I I've missed him. By the way, you look great. I've never seen
That's
you
not going to
dressed
change
up.
anything, okay? Listen, it's not gonna, I don't wear makeup, okay? None of this is going to help me. I sweated
No,
in
you
glasses,
look great.
okay?
You look really great.
Well, thank
really
you. That
dressed
doesn't
up.
change the fact. I feel the country is becoming together again.
I totally do. I think just in airports and grocery stores, all of a sudden I see all these MAGA hats. I'm like, first of all, where the hell have you been? Like, it's about time. But it's okay. We'll accept them, won't we? We are a very open, tolerant group. The point is, people were afraid. They truly were afraid. And all of a sudden, I have people come up to me all the time. I'm sure you do too. Like, first of all, we're going to be okay. We're coming back. I believe that it took the last 4 years and being on really the brink of disaster for people to say, you know what? I can't be quiet anymore. I can't accept it anymore. I've got to speak up for myself and for my family and for my neighbors. I will say this, there are still going to be people, I retweeted this today because I was so mad at the NAACP with the Daniel Penny, with him being acquitted, right?
Yep.
What did the NAACP say? They said vigilante justice to be waged on the black community without consequence. They're livid. So what do they do on, one of the very first opportunities to say, you know what, the justice system worked? No. They make it about race. It's divisive. And so to me, there are still a lot of concerns. It's going to take some time. And by the way, it's never going to go away. That's what humanity is all about. There are still issues, but I feel it every single day. It is better. It feels better. And I love the fact that people are now not living in fear quite as much.
You know what's funny is, go ahead. I'm like my grandfather. I'm talking with glasses. What the hell? What's funny to me about the whole Penny thing is that he was protecting minorities, which is funny because I guess they don't count. But I guess race baiting, you know what it is? It's activists. It's people in front of the camera that have more division than the rest of us do because we're just not seeing it.
Right.
I know you had a rough Sunday. If those of you who don't know, she's a diehard Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah.
So she's used to tragedy.
Allen, MVP on a losing game.
Yes.
Like,
Before and as bad as that is, I'm willing to forget all that if you could just answer one question. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
There we go.
I'll say yes. It's centered around Christmas. The whole
No.
idea is-
That's not a yay. That's a, oh my, yes. No.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. President Trump is willing to meet with people who literally called him Hitler and spent the last almost a decade burying him. If he is willing to sit down with these people and try to find some way to work, shouldn't we all be emulating that? If he's willing to work with the other side, shouldn't we all, instead of like laughing at our neighbors with the man bun and the Kamala Harris poster in his front yard, shouldn't we give him some tips on a good haircut? And, you know what I'm saying? Shouldn't we be emulating that?
I think so. We should be emulating that. But Trump has shown what leadership through strength looks like. The moment he won, what did you see? World leaders start showing up in a way that they hadn't with Joe Biden. The people who thrive when there is, quote unquote, division in the country is a lot of the left-leaning legacy media. That's how they get their clicks. It's how they get their views. It's how they make you feel other and less than. So you have to keep coming back to try and find some reassurance somewhere. But the reality is the only people that are dividing the nation is a lot of the legacy media telling people that they're racist, that they're terrible, that you're deplorable, that you're irredeemable. They make you feel bad about yourself for having a view other than theirs. Having a view that says, I believe the government should not be in my business the way it is. I believe I should have more freedom. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the great things that this country stands for, and I shouldn't be made to feel bad about that. But that's not how the legacy media has operated. The difference is now Donald Trump is back, and he's stronger than he was before. We've already seen Mexico and Canada showing up to the table to try to beat out the tariffs because they know he's not kidding. Don't call his bluff on these things. Yep. And you know what? The American people, you should emulate that. Don't be apologetic in the fact that we do live in the greatest nation the world has ever known.
Yep.
And that cheer also was about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. I need to let it go, but I just can't. Charlie, social media, right, which I think the left kind of had a strong on, at least as far as shadow banning and blocking everyone. But when you see the numbers that Trump is putting up with posts and stuff like that across the board, has the left lost that? Has America finally gotten smart into that? Even though social media does not necessarily represent the average American, but if the extreme is now leaning more towards him, isn't that a bigger sign of we're coming together?
Well, I think, Sage, you talked about it already. It's become trendy to be conservative now, to like Trump, to wear the MAGA hat. It's cool now to be a fan of Trump, whereas before you couldn't put on the hat because walking down the street you didn't know what kind of reaction you were going to get. But the boss is back, and so is respect for America. And I think not only are, in pop culture and in social media we're seeing the respect being shown for Trump, but just take a look at what we saw in the Notre Dame. No one could keep their eyes off of Trump. They were fixated on him. It's like he gets all the fanfare. He gets all of the huge honors of being a world leader, even though he hasn't even been inaugurated yet. We can't forget that. He is still not our president, and he is being treated by every other world leader as if he already is, because they are realizing he's already superior to them. They are his subordinates. I mean, even Macron. For weeks he was probably planning, how do I avoid being sucked into the pull me in Trump handshake?
Well,
he couldn't. He couldn't avoid it.
He smashed his ass up.
He couldn't avoid it. And Jill Biden, come on.
Yeah, it's
the
weird
perfume
when
sales are going to go through the roof, because if you can get a woman to look like that, wearing the perfume or cologne, that's all you want in life.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the other president's wife is hitting on you in a church. That's pretty. You're having a pretty good day.
Yeah.
Joe, put this in a button for me.
Yeah, well, you talk about Dr. Jill, the way she was staring at, the doctor was ready to operate, let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She got a whiff of unimpeachable by Trump, And meanwhile, what does Joe smell like, embalming fluid? That's not gonna...
Mothballs?
Mothballs.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you compare I've never seen anything like this where he's president already. Because where's Joe Biden? Joe Biden last week at that conference in Africa, he fell asleep. That's not the worst part. The worst part is no one tried to wake him.
Yeah.
They just let him sleep, and they watched the mosquitoes that bit him were dropping dead from whatever's going through his veins. So Trump is in charge, and you can tell because I'm the same height as Macron and Zelensky. I know that handshake when they come over. That's followed by a headlock and you giving them your lunch.
Okay. I've apologized a million times for that, Joe. It's funny. He did pardon his son, but it looks like he's pardoning us from the rest of his presidency. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's having a Scrooge moment. I don't
think, we're all like, oh, is Biden ceding the spotlight? But Biden doesn't know what's going on. And you're talking about what he smells like, he's
being a real Hans Gruber.
He knows who brings him his applesauce in the morning. It's someone different depending on whether he's in the White House or in Delaware. Other than that, he doesn't know what's going on.
That was a die-hard joke.
Yeah. Before we go, come see me on the What It Is comedy tour in 2025. I'll be performing coast to coast in a city near you. Grab your tickets now at Linktree/Tyrus Smash.
Erin's dying here.
She watched the movie. Up next, Penny's case fell apart because it was bogus from the start. Thank you. Thank you.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like tickets to see Gutfeld, go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld and click on the link to join our studio audience.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.